The Latam Chorus TVC presents an exciting opportunity for Coke to build on its position of cultural leadership worldwide. Being the world's #1 brand, Coke can set new trends and shape attitudes, and has in fact been doing so for decades. One only has to think of commercials like Hilltop and Mighty Joe Green to see the significant impact they had and how they perfectly captured the spirit of the time. The Latam TVC does exactly the same thing. But to be effective in Africa, we have to look at the commercial from an African perspective. We have to look at it through an African lens. How the world views Africa affects the way Africans view themselves. As the West struggles, Africa grows in optimism. Whereas once Africa looked to the world for help, now the world looks to Africa for growth and opportunity. When we look at ourselves, we see a population that has had to survive the hard way. Self-made entrepreneurs, sportsmen molded by desperation, a workforce who know the value of hard work and education. When we face adversity, we always bounce back, and it's a source of great pride for all of us. The realities that are influencing the cultural evolution in both regions are very different. The extraordinary change in both the socio and economic dynamics in Africa requires a different approach. We need to capture the spirit of the African Renaissance to become a prophet for resurgent African pride. Succeed in this, and Coke will earn the reward of cultural leadership automatically.
Are you ready? Buster, 1, 2, Chester.
The most important ones for us to reach are those who will lead the cultural and economic revolution. The youth. We have to enable them to see the extraordinary changes that are happening around them, so they're in a position to take advantage of the opportunities. To feel that they're not just part of the African revolution, but are actually in a position to lead it. That's changing attitudes. That's cultural leadership.
I think you can be planful on cultural leadership, and at the same time, you can be very responsive and reactive to a marketplace. And so we've got to be open for both.
In a word, pride. How do we define this pride? Happy, contagious, ego-driven, edgy? What about cheeky pride? Cheeky pride, the same kind of youthful, passionate, underdog pride that drove Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, the Beatles, etc. to take on the world. All were cheeky, confident youth. All drank Coke. Coke has always been about cheeky pride. Our definition of cheeky pride? Impudent or irreverent, typically in an endearing or amusing way. Africa's claim to cheeky pride. For the global teenager, cheeky pride is always going to be wrong, aggressive, and rebellious. For the African teenager, cheeky pride will be more endearing and amusing. Our cheeky pride, it is fresh but not brash. It is audacious but not rude. It is authentic but not contrived. It is defiant but not rebellious. It is spontaneous but not predictable. Television. While really bad things are happening around the world, really great things are happening in Africa. The African good things need to inspire pride and optimism and encourage action. Visual style. The commercial will employ a rich tapestry of visual techniques to keep it fresh, interesting, and watchable over and over again. Music. We recommend using the African Children's Choir. They carry a good positive story of hope and opportunity. The music is All I Need Is Right Here in Africa by Steve Kekana. It is a song of pride and belief. It will be redone in a modern teen-centric style. Print. The print will replicate the TVC. Radio Concept 1.
For every 5 goals scored in world football, 1 is scored by an African. There are a billion reasons to believe in Africa. Open a Coke. Open happiness. There are a billion reasons to believe in Africa. Open a Coke. Open happiness.